I give you Saturn man, Jaxon Smith-Njigba, player, we call him Player X. This guy is going to absolutely destroy in 2025. And the question is, do you have the balls to take him as your wide receiver one in a robust running back beginning of your draft? He's a third rounder, sometimes fourth rounder, but you typically see him in round 3. He's an absolute smash. He's going to Saturn. He's going to be the number 1 wide receiver in Seattle no matter what. He's going to be, dare I say, a top 5 to 10 wide receiver in 2025. Don't take him in round 1. Don't take him in round 2. You don't need to. But he's going to Saturn whether you like it or not.
The Saturn Men.
One small step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
Let's talk JSN, and then let's draft, baby.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Yes, Ma. JSN. No, you gotta search by Jaxon Smith-Njigba. Jaxon Smith-Njigba. Damn it, Ma. I'll be over in a minute. We'll draft them together.
The Saturn Men.
One small step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
This guy is going to explode. Now, a lot of people don't realize that at Ohio State, he was the best wide receiver as a freshman. He was better than Chris Olave. He was better than Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson's gone on record saying this is the best wide receiver of the trio. Garrett Wilson himself has told you JSN is better than me. He's better than Olave. This trio was unbelievable. He was the best of them all as a freshman. And he goes out in 2024 and absolutely explodes. In a Ryan Grubb system, dare I say, was very underrated. And I'm a little bit more upset about Ryan Grubb getting the axe right away than most people. I think he needed to be given a shot, and it's disappointing that they gave up on him. But you've got a system there in 2025 that's going to be very focused on getting this man the ball and running the football, establishing the run. He is the perfect wide receiver to consume a boatload of the targets. And we still have to, work out the quarterback situation and everything, but I'm very, very excited about Jaxon Smith-Njigba and the ambiguity around the QB situation, what's going on in Seattle, how is this all going to look and work. The unknowns are really what's going to keep him at bay in terms of his ADP. Finished as wide receiver number 9, so top 5 to 10 is not even bold, but for some reason he's sitting there in steal territory. He had 1130, 100 receptions, and six touchdowns in 2024 as wide receiver 9. He was literally, you could say, 10 to 12 points away from really wide receiver 6, 7. Being a top 5 wide receiver is not that hard for this guy walking into yet another season. And if we look at his ADP on Underdog, promo code Smitty, and let me just pull up and throw his ADP on screen right here because I can actually show you. And if you go to Underdog, if you use the link that I'm going to drop in the live chat right now, this link will get you ready to rumble for drafting tonight. We're going to draft here very shortly. So click that link. The link's pinned in the live chat. If you go to drafts and you click on the top left corner where it looks like a little ranking icon, you select NFL, you go into the 2025 preseason, you sort by wide receiver. Let me show my screen here. You're talking about a player in JSN that is not even in the first scroll. He finished number 9, yet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wide receivers can be seen on each screen flip here. You got McConkey, Tyreek Hill, T. Higgins. Where's JSN? Where you wonder, Smitty, this isn't that bold. How could you put him? He's number 9. He's wide receiver 9. You're not really saying much. I am, because I'm showing you the first 10 wide receivers. We can't find them yet, can we? That's 11. McConkey's 11. Tyreek Hill's 12. T. Higgins 13. McLaurin 14. Garrett Wilson 15. Garrett told you that he's better than himself. 16. Wide receiver 16. 30 overall ADP. He's 6 picks away. He's breaching the middle of round 3. And there's a world where he falls to the end of round 3. I've got him at the 3-4 turn before. This is a monster player walking into, I took a screenshot of that, didn't I? Yes, I did. Walking into 2025. This is one of the biggest steal wide receivers aside from Malik Neighbors. I've told you this before. Malik Neighbors is a Saturn man.
The Jupiter men. Jupiter is so large. Every planet in the solar system could fit inside it. There are no bigger monsters than the Jupiter men.
Jupiter is, as just told to you, no bigger monsters than the Jupiter men. Malik Neighbors is by far and away my favorite player, I think, this year in terms of draft value, capital. Look at this. He is wide receiver 8. He's wide receiver 8. He could be wide receiver 1, could be wide receiver 2. That is one of the biggest steals in fantasy. Malik Neighbors is being slept on. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? Oh, Smitty, you can't call Malik. You hear this guy? You hear this guy? He's telling us Malik Neighbors is a sleeper. I think I'm going to unsubscribe. This is really weird stuff right here. How is he not being slept in? I dare someone to call in and tell me Malik Neighbors is not a sleeper. I dare you to call in and argue that he's not a sleeper. He's being slept on. That's all that matters. That's how I define the term. I can define the term however the hell I want to. I've done it for 20 plus years professionally. Some of you were shartening your diapers, you complaining Calebs, about whether I can use the term sleeper. I practically invented the term in the fantasy industry. Call me out if you want, because I got receipts. Malik Neighbors is an early round sleeper, whether you want to accept it or not. The fact that Neighbors is going as wide receiver mother freaking 8 when he could be 1, that is being slept on. He just needs a descriptive word. He's an early round sleeper. That's all you need to say. That's all you need to know. All you need to know is to go X.
You've just been Smitty approved.
You just got to go deploy the plan, son. Malik Neighbors to the moon. Who else is being slept on? Yeah, Jaxon Smith-Njigba, who's going as wide receiver. What do we say? 16, wide receiver 16. Right on your screen, right there. 1130, 6 touchdowns, 26 rushing yards, 100 receptions. What do I think the projection is for JSN in 2025? I'd probably say something along the lines of 110, 113, 1300, 12 to 13 TDs, top five wide receiver in 2025. 110, 13, 12 to 13. Do it live. Smash. Let him cook. He's the man.
Let him cook.
Mug. Maybe something to do with mug. Maybe JSN's video has something to do with mug. I don't know. But all I know is Mug Root Beer. We need Mug Root Beer to sponsor. We need a sponsor here. Mug, if you're watching, best root beer. I want some cream soda, though. This is normal root beer. Cream soda is even better. Mug Root Beer, do it live. All right, so we've got that. Let's get back to this main screen here. Go watch this video. Thank you again to Yes Sir, to New Age Outlaw, BBQ, to everybody that was dropping super chats. We had our number one firefighter in the building dropping super chats. We had a whole crew just pulling their weight last show. So thank you all for being here. Let's get back to this real quickly, then I'll take phone calls and we'll start a draft. In fact, let's start a draft right now. Go into the Underdog app, promo code Smitty, Underdog, promo code Smitty. Link is in the live chat pinned. It's in the description of the video if you're watching the replay, and I just dropped the link yet again. And so if we go straight into the Underdog app and we go to draft at the bottom, we have lobby selected at the top. We scroll through. We're going to go to the, let's do another little board, a $3 little board. A couple of you were asking for that. Little board, $3 entry, $500K in prizes. First place gets, what's first place? $100,000. Let's do it live. Hit the button, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit the green enter button. Jump into the draft. Let me put the draft on screen and share my screen with you and put it in board view. And let's draft. Nobody draft JSN in round 1 or 2 because of this video. Please, please be respectable to JSN's hard work of trying to give you an opportunity to win your league, your best ball league. I'm drafting from the 4 spot. I never get the 4 spot on these shows. I always somehow, some way end up getting like 11 or 10 or 12. Let's try the 4. The 4 is pretty good. JSN top 5. Who falls? I think I'm on Raw. St. Brown falls. Personally, says Master. He could. I'm not saying St. Brown is gonna fall. I'm just saying, like, you take away that you know, the brains of the operation over in Detroit. It's possible. It's possible. Yeah, root beer glass bottle is correct. It's a lot better, especially root beer or cream soda. Like mug cream soda or A&W cream soda is boss, and the bottles are a lot better. A lot better. Okay, draft starts in 2 seconds. Fill this sucker up. We filled it up pretty quickly, actually. It's counting down to draft. What do we got in here? Speedy's in here. Speedy, don't take JSN in the second round, please. Don't ruin his ADP because of this show. Okay, Speedy's he reaches a lot. I'm not saying he doesn't draft well. Like, sometimes reaching is fine, but like, you don't need to, you know, figure out a way. I'm not even going to reach. I'm not going to take JSN at this pick. If he falls, so be it. You know, if he doesn't, that's okay. We're talking about him. That's enough, you know, here on this channel. All right, Saquon goes number 1. Let me see if I can got a call in here. We got John. John, you're live. John, what can I do for you?
Hey, Smitty, I'm at the 12th spot. If the third guy who's been at Seattle for, like, I don't know, a decade plus, if he ends up retiring midway, how high up does JSN go? That's all I got, and then I'll let you go.
It sounds like they're trying to make room for Lockett, if that's who you're referring to. So I don't know I don't know that he's gonna retire. If he did, I'm gonna go Jahmyr Gibbs here. If he did retire, I think it does bump his value up because people are weird, bro. They don't realize Lockett has nothing to do with it. He's nothing to do with it, you know. But people are weird. Like when Joe Burrow got his new deal, his new contract, his ADP climbed. People are fickle to news, you know. Oh, if they're gonna pay him, then he must be good, you know. And it just also, it gets people talking about Joe Burrow when he signs a new deal. So then you have a little more Joe Burrow content, and it naturally just gets people amped about Joe Burrow. Oh, I didn't hear that about Joe. I didn't think about that. So, you know, Lockett retiring just randomly gets people going, yeah, I haven't talked about JSN yet. I like him this year. Then there's that extra piece of news out there. Then another person sees that, and then they start liking JSN. And then it's just a cascading snowball effect. So you're not wrong, even though if your stance was, you know, him leaving does affect JSN, it doesn't really. But you're right in that other people will believe that, and it will affect his ADP. It sucks. It sucks. Hold on, real quickly. Hold on, John. It went Saquon, it went Jamar Chase, it went Bijan, it went Jahmyr Gibbs to me at 4. Puka, JJ, Lamb, Amon-Ra, Nico, Neighbors is a steal at 10. BTJ, you took Devon Achane and Ashton Genty back to back. It'll be interesting to see, John, what you do with your picks, but that's you, right? Or do you have a different draft? You're in a draft.
No, that's me. I'm at the 12th spot.
Okay. So what made you pass on wide receiver? It's not a horrible move. I'm just curious.
Well, none of them were there.
That's good.
Taking BTJ, but
acceptable answer.
Yeah.
You took the best player
London,
available. I like it.
I know as many people like. I know a lot of people like London, but that last game against the Panthers, that went into overtime. And again, Darnell Mooney wasn't there, to my knowledge, and he had like 18 targets. He had nobody else to throw to. So, yeah, Michael Penix is a step up, but at the same time, like, he didn't really have 30-plus point games like the Jamar Chase, Malik Neighbors, or some of the other dudes had. So, he did take a step in the right direction, but I want to see another step this year. It better be like 25, 30 points a game every game for Drake London.
I hear you. Travis, you're live. Did you have anything you want to say about what John said, or add anything about JSN? And then, John, you can stay there for a second. I'll come back to you and get your take on JSN. Go ahead, Travis.
Yeah, I mean, with Drake London, it's 100 receptions, 1,200 yards, 9 touchdown guy, and that was with really poor quarterback. So I think with Penix, he definitely will take that step. His problem all along has been quarterback.
Damn, Speedy.
On JSN.
Sorry, real quick, Travis. Speedy.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have got him back, so at the end of the day, I'm not mad at you. But, like, Bucky at 14 overall, he's got a third-round ADP. Speedy's there to just try and ruin the ADP to the best of his ability. Just go ahead. I'm sorry, Travis. Actually, let me pick real quick. I'm on the clock. God, I don't like these wide receivers here. I guess I'll go JT here. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I'm going to regret that. We'll see what happens. But go ahead, Travis. I'm sorry.
Well, like Tyler, I know we disagree with him a lot, but he says Geno as a QB affects the prediction, but it doesn't, because with Geno playing fairly, average, I would say, he put up those numbers. And JSN's only getting better. So even if Geno is just what he is, you can almost expect those numbers to go better.
It is a steal to take the ninth wide receiver. The ninth wide receiver at his ADP as wide receiver 13, 14, 15, 16. And that's with Geno. So if he produces ninth wide receiver value, who the hell cares? That's fine by me. I'll take like for example right here, if JSN falls, which I don't know if Steele's in this draft. Okay, he took Breece Hall. That's, so let's take a look real quickly. He's right. I'm not reaching at all because he's the second wide receiver ranked. I could go Garrett Wilson, though. I don't hate that. That's not bad. But for the sake of the stream and putting our money where our mouth is, I'm going to take JSN right here on cue, not ahead of ADP. This is my wide receiver 1. I'm very comfortable with this approach right here, which is running back heavy. And I said at the beginning of the show, do you have the balls to take JSN as your wide receiver 1 and go heavy, robust RB in round 1 and 2? I'm trying it. And I don't mind it. It doesn't make me feel weird. But yeah, to your point, to Tyler's, negative take as usual, he was number 9 with Geno. If he produces only number 9 value from this 28 overall pick, I'm fine. I'm flying high. I could care less. But he's going to be better.
And I think a guy like Geno is fine with JSN. A guy like DK needs a more elite quarterback because he's going to get, less targets. He's more of a down the field threat, big body receiver that needs someone to be able to deliver it down the field consistently to him. JSN is all over the field. And a guy like Geno is fine for that. He can hit him on crossers and short routes and all over the place. I think there's still a chance that DK gets traded this year too, and I don't know that that's necessarily great for JSN because we've seen the volumes there anyway. But that would be another wrinkle thrown into it because
Joshua has a message for you, for us really.
Joshua Carrero, I like Jacoby Myers more than JSN.
Okay. Anyway, there's some people that don't know what time it is, and that's all right. We'll help guide them. We'll do our best, Joshua. I'm here for you. Go ahead.
JSN's behind DK. He's not. JSN is number 1 there.
Yeah, JSN is the number 1 receiver. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. He's the number one. He's the most dynamic wide receiver. He's the number one wide receiver. He was wide receiver 9 in a very crappy situation. And if that situation stays crappy, the thing about the way they want to deploy the run this year, and I'm liking the idea. They potentially want to get a fullback in there, and really ground and pound, and that's going to really set up the pass a little differently too. And if there's anybody getting cheated out of production, it's not JSN. I'm fine with the wide receiver. I don't want to say the wide receiver production will shrink, because it might just open it up and be more efficient at the end of the day, and the stats are there. But I don't mind that this is going to be a very hopefully balanced attack. Real quickly, hold on. I went Ashton Genty, Bucky Irving, Derrick Henry, Ladd, Drake London, Christian McCaffrey, Brock Bowers, A.J. Brown, Jonathan Taylor to me in the second round, Jacobs, T. Higgins, Trey McBride, then this flips down to the 3.1, Tyreek Hill, Terry McLaurin, Breece Hall, JSN, Kyron, James Cook, Garrett Wilson, Chase Brown, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Marvin Harrison Jr., Joe Burrow, then flips down to 4.1, Rashee Rice, Jaden Daniels, DJ Moore, Joe Mixon, Jalen Hurts, Xavier Worthy, Mike Evans. On the clock is this pick right here, and then I'm on the board, baby. And I gotta say, it's kind of thinning out a little bit. I don't exactly love where I'm at right here. Devontae Smith is there, Jamison Williams is there, Chuba Hubbard's there, Ted McMillan's there, DK Metcalf, although I don't know if I want to double up there. Kenneth Walker. What do I do here? I guess I'll go Devontae Smith. You guys got Smith or J-Mo? 2 seconds.
J-Mo.
I like J-Mo. Higher up.
Too late. I went Smith. I like Smith. Either one's good. I like J-Mo a lot too. The only thing is I think Smith has a chance of being the one. I'm not saying A.J. Brown drops off, completely yet. I'm not saying that, but he has a lot of knee concerns, and he is getting older, and he's been complaining a lot. I know they won a Super Bowl. He's just a weird guy. He's a weird guy reading books on the sideline. Everybody praises that, acts like it's an amazing thing. It's not. It's not a good thing. I don't care what they did, how everything went. It's not what you want, to be honest with you. So I think Devontae Smith has a shot. He's a special relationship with Hurts. They're totally, like buddies. Unlike AJ Brown and Hurts, I think it's a little bit more of a fractured relationship that has been fused together and fixed, but it's still not perfect. And so let's go. Let's see here.
I think Smith is better than Diego.
So I'm on the clock again. Flowers, Addison. You got to speak quickly. Flowers, Addison, Waddle, Olave, Kamara, Pickens, Cortland Sutton, Kenneth Walker, Mahomes, Hamptons, Laporta, Monty. What do you guys like? I'm kind of thinking I might take a gamble on Kenneth Walker here. I don't know. I'll do it. I'm banking on Seattle here, but I got Gibbs, I got JT, I got Walker, JSN, Devontae Smith. Not my favorite team I've drafted, I'll be honest, but I'm also getting probably more players sniped than normal. We're in a setting where everybody's like-minded, and we got Speedy over. What has Speedy been doing? BT, Bucky, MHJ in the third round. Jaden Daniels was a good value. You could almost flip those, and it was the tail end of the third round, to be fair. But Speedy, if my life was on the line and we needed someone to reach on a player so much that it causes like panic or like, oh my God, like you want someone to scream, it would be Speedy. Bring Speedy. Guy reaches more than anything I've ever seen in my life. I did like Waddle a little bit there, but
Raphael in the chat was asking should he trade Higgins for JSN. I would.
I would rather have JSN. I mean, T. Higgins is not on the Moon Men, Mars Men, Saturn Men. I mean, clearly I will say that the ADPs are a little different. Like T. Higgins, where did T. Higgins go in this draft? He went at 23 overall. So he's going a little earlier than JSN. So you could account for that and saying, well, that's why he's not on the Moon Men, Mars Men, Saturn Men list, because his cost of entry is really high. And it's not that far apart, but like JSN, you can get a little later than this too. Like that's just where my pick is. I would say even considering cost of entry being the same, like if Higgins fell down to JSN's ADP, which it is not, it's literally like 7 or 8 picks apart, which makes it JSN even more valuable. Even if they had the same ADP in round 3, I'd rather have JSN in round 3 than Higgins in round 3. But it doesn't mean I don't like Higgins in round 3. That's probably where I'd start taking him. I can't take Higgins in the second round. I like him a lot, but I don't know that I'm taking him in the second round. But give me JSN all day.
Hey, Smitty, if the Bengals don't re-sign Mike Gesicki, and I think their tight end they drafted last year in the 4th round, he tore his ACL like early in the year. Is there anybody there that we should be looking out for?
Yeah, I really wish the Bengals would trade for Michael Mayer. God, it'd be the most amazing trade. If I was a GM, that's the kind of crap I'd be doing. I'd be combing through teams going, who doesn't understand who's good? Who's burying this guy? Who doesn't know what time it is with this guy? I would scoop up Michael Mayer so quickly, and I'd overpay if I had to. He would be an absolute superstar, Michael Mayer, with Joe Burrow.
Cincinnati is a team that could get up to where Warren goes. If Warren ends up going like somewhere between 10 and 15, they draft 17, so that'd be something. Not sure they will.
All right, on deck here, this guy's taking. Who's he going to take? He's got Gibbs. That's me. He's got Puka, AJ Brown, Kyron, Kittle, Zay Flowers, and just took Trevion Henderson, who I like a lot. Honestly, Mahomes is pretty good value in round 6. I'm a big Mahomes fan still. I know a lot of people are writing him off one game, and he's dead to him. I think he rebounds big time with Rice back. Worthy coming on strong. I mean, Jaden Reed, Debo, Calvin Ridley, Tracy, these are all good players, but I think this is the biggest difference maker for me at this stage in the draft. Getting Mahomes, Gibbs, JT, Walker, JSN, Devontae Smith makes me feel pretty good about the squad.
I mean, you'd think KC is coming for blood next year.
Yeah.
Like, with this big of a letdown in the Super Bowl, if they can help it. And I really do think Worthy doesn't miss a stride and just takes off.
Yeah, he looks so good right now. Worthy, unbelievable player. Getting close to getting back on the clock again. Who do you guys like out of Jaden Reed, Debo, Tyrone Tracy, Luther Burden, Jennings and Buka, Pacheco? I don't like Pacheco here. I'm just reading them off. It's getting thin.
Burden, Jennings. I'm not convinced Tracy will be the guy. They could easily draft a RB.
I think Jennings might be the number 1 wide receiver in San Francisco this year. I don't think that's even bold. I don't even think that's bold. I think that's just logical.
Jennings proved me wrong. I didn't believe that much.
I have zero faith in Ayuk. Not to mention he might not even be healthy, for week 1.
Yeah.
Wide receiver.
Yeah, they were saying that.
Khalil Shakir just went. So I got Burden or Jennings or Mbuka here. I'm going to go Burden. I think Luther Burden has at least a chance to be something special.
I like him, yeah.
Right spot. I think he does really well. Like there's somebody. No one's going to be BT. BT was number 4 out of all wide receivers, but somebody's going to be a poor man's watered down version of BT. Is it going to be Burden? Is it going to be Mbuka? Is it going to be another wide receiver? After the top 2, and some people love Hunter, some people don't, and most people love Ted McMillan. But outside of those top 2, is it Mbuka? Is it Burden? Is it somebody else? I don't know, but there's definitely a shot at somebody being a little bit watered down version, like maybe their wide receiver 10 or 11.
Yeah, I feel like people aren't talking about Burden and Caleb Johnson quite enough. I like both of them.
I don't think Joshua is trolling because he continues. He's still talking. He's still talking about Jacoby Myers. He's still talking about it. Jacoby Myers scored 27 fantasy points last. Unbelievable, Joshua. Attack it. Run into it, bro.
Jacoby Myers is
Do your thing.
of good, not great.
Do your thing, good sir. I don't mind Jacoby Myers. I'm not trying to hate on him, but he's not in the same conversation as JSN. He can't hold JSN's jockstrap, bro. He wouldn't even be allowed to hold it, not even for a few seconds. I want Hunter to play DB only. That's going to be a big offseason debate.
So sick of that. I'm already sick of that.
And yeah, the thing is, it's a good question. You know, because we don't know the team that drafts him, what they want to do, how much control are they going to try and impose on the situation. Will he be left to his own devices? And I think that's more likely.
I think I'm sick of it.
I think when he has meetings with teams, he's going to say, look, this might cost me a couple draft slots, but I am telling you, you draft me, I want to play both sides of the ball. And the team might say, well, if we take you, you know, we're going to probably want to we might have our own plan of that. Are you okay with that? He's going to say no. And you never know. Maybe I'm wrong. And if anybody wants to see what's been happening on the draft here, I'll swipe over here. Ziggy, snooze for 5 minutes. I got a pizza cooking, so I got to go out there and take it out.
Snoozing for 5 minutes.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Let me go over to Marsman Rock Out real quick. Marsman Rock Out, you're live. What do you think about JSN this year? Do you think in the third round it's a damn good value? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I believe he's a good value. But also,
Jacoby,
what do you think about Marvin Harrison Jr. if he's in this current situation? How you view him?
I love him, bro. I just don't love his situation at all. By the way, Jacoby Myers is still there. He's been sitting at the top for a little while now. we're at pick 93, and he's still there. And Joshua's going to crap his pants because I might not take him here. Do you guys think right here you would go Travis Kelce on the chance that this is a turning into the 9th round? I don't know.
Not a bad bet. I don't think he wants to go out like that. I figure he got one more year.
I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna do it here, but I'm gonna go Mooney here. I like Mooney a lot. That's John. You were just talking about him.
On the tight end for me.
Mooney's a nice.
I was going to say Mooney.
Yeah, Mooney's a nice option here. But does anybody, his ADP, Travis Kelce's lingering around the 10th round now. That's where, should I say, that's where he's getting taken. So what's happening here, let me go to the player board here. Kelce is, he's the top tight end available. He's the third player available. But the news today and yesterday and all the buzz has been making him sit at top of the list for about 8 to 10 picks sometimes. And so you know his ADP is about to shift into the 10th round. So nobody wants to take him, even when he's sitting there at the top, because they're afraid he's going to retire. I think where it gets crazy is like, okay, I'm at 9.4, 100 overall coming up. And I look down at these players and it's like, okay, I do like JK a little bit. You got Tyler Warren, the rookie tight end that everybody's getting really excited about. And I think, honestly, I might go that direction versus an older Kelce that may even retire. Maybe Tyler Warren outscores him. So I'm on the clock here. I'm just trying to let people think about what they would do or get inside my head as far as when I would take Kelce. Like what I've done before is I've passed on him here and he's still available. Even though he's at the top of the ranking here, he's still available the next pick. It's probably just smart. Like I'm gonna take a chance on Tyler Warren here. I'll take a chance on Tyler Warren here, and let's see if Kelce comes back. And even if he doesn't, I'm fine with it because he can retire and be a waste of a pick. But this is what I've done. I haven't bid in the 9th round since the news. I've taken him around 10 because the difference between 9 and 10 is pretty bad. Once like Najee's off the board and you're talking about like Keon Coleman, Marvin Mims, Drake May. I do like Travis Hunter a little bit. Obviously there's some good players there, but that's where I kind of consider Kelce. But even when push came to shove, I couldn't do it when I could get a more consistent, for sure going to play player. You know, like Tyler Warren probably, even if he is not the second coming of Bowers, like some people I think are going to expect him to be because they want it, they're just trying to will it to happen. He still should have, like, what did Kelsey have? 800 yards and 3 TDs, right? So if we kind of if we kind of jostle around those numbers a little bit, let's say Tyler Warren has 600 yards and 5 TDs, and has this, I think he can easily do. He can easily do what Kelsey just did. And how can I bet that Kelsey's going to outperform last year's numbers? I can't, because he's a year older. So I'm going to say can Tyler Warren get me 604 or 5 touchdowns? Yes. I'm going to go ahead and take Tyler Warren. That's kind of how I process that Kelsey, if anybody's wondering, that Kelsey selection. John, before I let you go, John, any final thoughts?
Yeah, the NFL stands for not for long. The dude's old. His time has come to an end. Time for him to go out into the sunset and pursue his acting career, which he said he wanted to do. Have a great night, Smitty.
Thanks. Later, John.
And thoughts on my team, too. Thoughts on my team.
Okay, I'll do that in a second. Go ahead, Travis, give me your thoughts on his team so far. He's in the 12 spot. H.N., Genty, Burrow, Rashee Rice. I got to get the pizza out. You talk about it. Ziggy, off.
Let me just, I can't. Oh, okay. Where is it here? Is he the one with, who is it? Oh, he's got Rice, Judy, Genty.
He got Genty.
I can't see his other. Who was his first pick? Genty, H.N. Genty, someone, Rice, Judy, McMillan, Mayfield, John, and not bad. I mean,
Fever's a little
I
lacking.
don't know who is. Yeah, I don't know who is second or who his first pick was. I guess, right? Genty and H.N. I don't know.
So this is
who was his third pick.
I'll read it off. I'll read it off in a second. Here's the Lou Malnati's pizza pie. This is one of the best pizzas in the country, let alone in Arizona. Lou Malnati's. They're based out of Chicago. They're a Chicago deep dish, but they have these frozen pizzas. Oh, I'm on the clock. Hold on. Good Lord. See, Travis Kelce's still there. But I'm going to go. Yeah, I timed out on Kelsey. That's right. This is where I think it's okay to take him. See, I let him go. He was floating. Yeah. He was floating atop. He was floating atop the board all the way down. So now I got Travis Kelce and Tyler Warren, and I feel pretty safe about that.
That's a combo I like. If you're going to take a younger guy, first, second year guy, take a Kelce too, and you kind of, head your bets there.
I had to put the pizza away. On the clock here in a second. Oh no, I'm on the clock now. Okay, so who went after my pick? ETN, Charbonnet. I got sniped on Charbonnet. That sucks. Should have probably just went Charbonnet. But that's okay. I'm gonna take the best player here. I hate doing this. Hate doing this to whoever drafted ETN right now, but you sniped ETN from me, so technically, just kidding. I went Bigsby. I like Bigsby here. Got 4 RBs. I got how many wide receivers I have? 4 wide receivers. Let me show my team. Patrick Mahomes, Jahmyr Gibbs, JT, Kenneth Walker, Tank Bigsby, JSN, Devontae Smith, Luther Burden, Darnell Mooney, Warren, and Kelsey. Yeah, looking back, this is part of why we do what we're doing here. Part of me feels a little regret of not going Charbonnet instead of Kelsey. Yeah. I think in the end.
You timed out, so.
Yeah, I was trying to do it, but I should have queued him. But You know, this is why we do it. It's a $3 draft, and you know, my lessons, my hard lessons are good to display so that everybody doesn't make the same mistake, and we all go, okay, you know, together, that maybe this will look better. But yeah, you know, I mean, what's Kelsey going to really do? He just 803 TDs. Is that worth passing on mother freaking Charbonnet and cuffing him to Walker? Probably not.
Well,
that's my fault.
And
That's my bad.
I think the thing with Kelsey, I was going to say, is that I don't think he doesn't have huge long games anymore. So what's his weekly ceiling? You know, I think he can compile the stats over a season, but I think he had more than 70 yards 3 or 4 times all year this year.
Yeah. I wish I could redo that pick. I rarely regret a pick, but I regret that one. I was kind of thinking when I was debating it, will Sharps come back around? Maybe, maybe not. But I should have taken the chance that Kelsey would have fallen, not Charbonnet. So lesson learned. Let's see who Speedy's reaching on right now. Hampton in the 5th round. Come on, Speedy. Is he? Maybe he is kind of going there, I guess. But Godwin was a great pick.
Sounds high.
It does sound a little high. I knew he's going to take Travis Hunter really early. Speedy, God. You know what I should do? When we know Speedy's not on the live stream, I should hype up a bunch of players right before and then go, let's draft. Just let Speedy take them, and then it's like, thank you. Oh, Speedy. We should change your name to Ricci. So, okay, back to the debate. We were starting to have this debate, and somehow I got sidetracked, probably because I had to pick or something. But Hunter won't be able to play both sides of the ball at a high level. Disagree. I don't know if, you know, we're talking about Travis Hunter. I don't know if, like I said, I think he's going to tell teams that he wants to play both sides of the ball. I think it's important to him. And if you draft him, you got to accept that. This is why I would have probably, you know, I get he could be a good corner, or DB. I get he could be a good wide receiver. If I had to say, I think I'd rather him have the ball in his hands than try and prevent other people from having the ball in their hands. So I would make him play, or tell him, ask him, talk to him, play full-time wide receiver, play part-time DB. That would be my plan of attack. What? You know what? I'm going to go bully tight end, even though I'm not taking big dogs. I'm going Evan Ingram, Travis Kelce, Tyler Warren. I mean, I think it's pretty decent strategy.
All
right, now I got to see what other players are going to be available when I come back around. You know, so I clicked on Cooper right there, and then he goes.
I disagree with people in the chat saying
what can I do?
This person didn't do it. This, you know, Kim Bailey, Deion Sanders, Richard Sherman, but Travis Hunter is completely different. He's such a different threat on both sides of the ball. I know that they could do it and they were good and they did it a little in college, but like Richard Sherman is a position change.
No one.
Bailey, you know, caught some balls in college, but not a ton.
No one's done it to this degree and this recently.
Right.
You know, come on. Stop trying to pretend you know what's good for Hunter or what teams are going to... He's going to let them know that I want to do this, and no one's going to draft him and say, no, we're going to overrule you. We're going to draft you and put you in handcuffs. See, Jordan Whittington got sniped early.
Was it you or was it someone else? I think it was you that was saying, you know, when a team is sitting there and they need a big play or something, and they're using Hunter on defense, and their best offensive player is going to be Hunter, and he's going to be sitting on the sideline. What, you know, how do you justify that?
Yeah.
You know,
the thing is, people
you
don't.
You gotta give him a shot.
People don't give him enough respect as a wide receiver, and I don't know what it is. People like to hate, man. People just like to hate. I don't know if it's based on jealousy. A lot of times it is. I don't know if it's based on, and I don't know what would make a random watcher of football be like so jealous about somebody's success playing both sides of the football that makes them say he can't do this, he won't do that, he's not that good. You know, like he's so special. When he has the ball, he's special. And you want him to have the football in his hand. I mean, he can still have the football in his hand from a defensive perspective. He picks off a pass, but he is a playmaker. He's one of the top 2 or 3 wide receivers in the draft class, plain and simple. I don't want to hear, like I'm like you, Travis. I don't want to hear, oh, it hasn't been done, or this guy couldn't do it, or this guy didn't do it. It's the game's evolving, like in a lot of different ways, and it's evolving from college to the pros. And if somebody is hell bent on playing both sides of the ball, and yeah, there's a little more injury risk, but he's a special person, built a special way, and he's also, you know, fine-tuned. And like, think about it from this perspective. Why don't we like when teams draft players that have not played the position very long? Like, look at Christian McCaffrey, his brother. His brother comes in and plays wide receiver, running back, kind of converted, not necessarily really good at either, but has a lot of skill and talent. Look at Antonio Gibson, also a Washington player. He got drafted into the pros, didn't have a lick of experience being a running back or a wide receiver. He had the smallest resume of any player drafted to become the full-time starter that I've ever seen in my history of doing fantasy football analysis. Gibson had no experience whatsoever. Okay, why do we not like players going into a starting role that has no track record? Because their body's not attuned or trained to handle the workload that an RB has to endure. Therefore, when you draft a running back, you like to know what's their resume. How do they handle a full workload? Because you throw a random person into the running back room and you ask them to be a full-time running back on any level, they'll break. They're not used to it. Your body gets trained to do it. And so if somebody says, you know, oh, Travis Hunter is going to break, or he's going to do this, or he's going to do that, his body is trained to do this and is trained to do it better than anybody I've seen in a long time. Like, this is almost ever. I've never seen somebody put his body through what he puts it through so he can endure it differently than the average person. So I don't want to hear, oh, they didn't do it here, they didn't do it here. He's the only one putting his body to the test and training it to be capable of this kind of abuse. It's a skill to be able to withstand punishment. He should play a...
Two things with it. One is that people, like you were saying, like to watch the car crash, and for whatever reason, humans are negative creatures, and it seems easy to grab onto that. But two, they also grab onto the narrative. And over this past month or so, when you've been hearing these narratives of, oh, NFL teams are only going to want to play cornerback, D-back, whatever, it seems like a lot of people latch onto that. I'm not even accusing anyone in the chat, I'm just talking about in general. Because before, this was in the media talking about, oh, teams are only going to want to do this, when it was just, oh, he's a dual threat player. You didn't see that many people coming out and saying, oh, he can only play one side of the ball. It's just recently this is starting to build, and I think people latch on to narratives.
Yeah, I could care less what has happened in the past. It's a progressive, ever-evolving league.
We should want to see it. I mean, how cool would that be? Even if he tries and fails, how cool would it be if he could pull it off? Even for a year.
We haven't felt
whatever.
We haven't felt like this since Bo Jackson. Like, to be honest, like there hasn't been a feeling of like, oh, this could be a real cool. You know, just because of how he played two sports, but like just feeling like very, very like, oh, this could break the mold. More people could want to do this. Can he do it? Will he get hurt? Will he not get hurt? He's more primed and ready to do it than any other player. And so he's not more likely to get hurt than the average person trying it. He's used and attuned to it. I just think it's hilarious. You know, he should play. And I see what you're saying, Jets country. I get what 30% wide receiver. I think the other way. I think he should play 100% wide receiver and play D-back as much as he can, part-time, whatever he wants to do. If he wants to do 100% both sides, let him do it. I'm not going to hold him back from that. I mean, the advantage you get as a team. I'd go with another rookie, I guess. Rest Pro, I don't know how he'll be, but I like him. I let Travis Hunter do whatever the hell he wants. I know I'm investing in him as the owner, and I'm going to want to have a say or whatever, or the GM, but at the end of the day, man, if the boy wants to play both sides of the ball, he's playing both sides of the ball. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah. And if you look at it from an investment standpoint, the amount of money you're going to make off of jerseys and promotion and hype and interviews of him, if he's trying, just for the lead up of him trying to play off the marketing for him being a dual threat guy. And then if he actually pulls it off, forget about it. The marketing goes through the roof for that. So I don't even buy that argument at all. You got to think about things financially.
Tyler.
Some people say, oh, you should focus on positions financially too.
Tyler, you're live.
Yeah, I just want to back up what you guys have been saying, especially what Travis said.
Is this Tyler?
This guy is going to be showing us what nobody in the world can do, because Deion Sanders, one of the best players in the game, got on the radio or was it on the news and said, I couldn't even do this. And yet this guy, Travis Hunter, is going to be able to do both because he can do both in college.
And don't you think that Travis Hunter is getting taught by the man, and he did, as his coach, practically like his father, the father figure. Don't you think out of anybody, it would be the guy that was coached by the guy that was the most capable of doing it? Like, you know what I mean? Like exactly what you said. If he's saying, look, this guy's better than I was at being able to do this, don't we trust Deion Sanders to have the best kind of assessment of that? It's wild to be. Is this Tyler?
Yeah.
What's up, my boy? You sound awfully positive on the phone line, though.
Well, some things we agree on, some things we have a little bit of a difference.
All right. Tyler.
Yeah, Travis Hunter is a little bit of, he's going to make the world
go round.
Different story.
Hey, tell me about JSN. Wait, are you talking smack about JSN? I heard you talking smack about him.
It just depends on who you're comparing him to. If you're comparing him to Garrett Wilson, then I'd rather have Garrett Wilson. If you're comparing him to anybody else, it just depends on...
Garrett Wilson would rather have JSN than himself. He's even said that. He said, JSN's better than me. I know he could be being humble and everything, but, bro, he was very adamant about it. And not to mention the stats back it up. Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, and JSN were all on the same team. Was it 2021? 2021 at Ohio State. All three played at the same time. They were on the field at the same time. That was an amazing wide receiver room. Olave, Garrett Wilson, JSN. JSN was a freshman. He outplayed both of them on the year. He was the better wide receiver on the year.
I definitely would rather have JSN more than Olave.
Well, why not?
Down.
I'm not saying you're wrong on Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson's debatable, but why don't you like him over Garrett Wilson? You just like Garrett Wilson a lot more?
Just a personal preference.
All right. I mean, I can't argue with that.
Faster, jumps higher, more athletic. If I were to see him, I never saw him in college, like toe-to-toe, because I'm not really, I don't follow college as much as I follow pro.
All right, anything else?
That's a thing that I need to get better at as well, college players.
Yeah, it does help. It does help because but you can crash course it. I mean, that's what I do on this channel. So, all right, Tyler, anything else?
No, just that. Just to back up what you guys said in the past 3 to 4 minutes.
All right, appreciate you. Later.
Later.
I'm looking at that 2021 year. I guess he was actually a sophomore, but they had JSN, Garrett Wilson, Olave, and Egbuka and Marvin Harrison Jr. actually had a few catches too.
Well, I think it was technically his freshman year. I think he got redshirted maybe the year prior, but I think it was technically
yeah. I think he played like a couple.
he was
it was COVID year before that.
Yeah, he was a freshman. It was essentially, or he was technically speaking, a freshman. So as a freshman, he outplayed Olave and Garrett Wilson, which is crazy. Which is great. Like that's a good wide receiver. I mean, that's why we love him. Going to the moon. Justin, you're live. Justin, and then I'll go back over to John, and then I'll go back over to Rockout, and then I'll go back over to Travis, and then I might end it so that I can go eat my Lou Malinati's pizza pie, which is cooling down.
Hey, fellas, I wanted to weigh in on the Travis Hunter thing. I definitely think he can and should play both sides. Now, I do think he should be on, like, somewhat of a limited snap count when it comes to one side or the other, because I think there's some truth to what Richard Sherman said, where, like, offensive coordinators on the opposing side, they might run that motherfucker rampant. Like, just shoot go routes at him the whole game just because, oh, well, if we tire this guy out on one side, he'll go to the other side after he just covered a dude running downfield, you know?
Yeah, bro, they could do that in college. They could do that. They could do that in college. And if you're really, let me just shoot that down. I don't like that take. You're gonna game play. I'm not saying I don't like. It's something to kick around, right, and dissect. But I'm saying overall, I don't agree with that take, because you're gonna game plan around drawing up a play that doesn't even make sense for that moment in that field position, that whatever, just to tire one guy. You're going to end up losing if you start playing football like that. Not to mention, it's almost like, I mean, he's been tested in college. You know, he can play both sides. And I'll just be frank and honest. When I was coming out of high school, in the best shape of my entire life in terms of cardio, like I actually got in better shape, I think, in my early 30s. I tore my knees up, and since I'm getting back there, though. That's why we have this workout thing I'll talk about at the end of the show. I'm getting back into the best shape of my life, and it starts now. It starts tomorrow. But when I came out in the best shape of my life, you couldn't tire me out, bro. I need a breather here and there, but I could play both sides of any football game. I could go run a track meet after I played in a basketball game or a football game. You couldn't wear me out. Like, there are some people that are in such good shape and condition, you can run me down the field all day long. I could care less. I'm going to get my breath back. I'll be fine. Like, he's going to be in phenomenal shape, more so than anybody else on the field, if he's playing both sides of the ball. He did it in college. No one was able to tire him out and make him a worthless piece on the field. Like, it's not going to happen.
You think Richard Sherman was just kind of being like a hater?
I think Richard Sherman doesn't want someone to do something that he wasn't. Why didn't you do this, Richard? You know, but let me tell you, wait a minute. It's like going up to somebody that works, you know, from home half the time, and then somebody, let's say, steps up and goes, I think we should all return back to the office and work another 5 hours. This person's going to go, what in the hell is he saying? Well, he can't do that. We should all be working 20 hours a week. Like, Richard Sherman he doesn't want it to be known that he could have maybe played both sides of the ball. It's probably embarrassing to watch someone do it, and then, why didn't you do it? I don't care what anybody said. This is what I love about Travis Hunter and his story, is people hate on him. People, they say he couldn't do it. How many people probably said he couldn't do it at the college level, bro? If I would have told you that he was going to do what he did, you might have said, or other people might have said, he can't do that. He's going to get tired, or they're going to wear him out. And he did it. He did it marvelously, to the point where Heisman candidate. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get the hate. I don't get the hate.
Like, all that is fair.
I just don't get the hate. Not from you. I'm just saying in general, the hate that is kind of spilling over to, you know, good people like yourself that, you know, absorb it a little bit. And it's like, why can't he be the difference maker and do something revolutionary, something that's never been done and pave a way potentially for other people. And just because others get hurt and they're not conditioned, maybe people should be conditioned enough like him, and this makes him less likely to get injured because he's actually in the best shape a human being could possibly be in. And so he's not going to get hurt as easily as somebody playing one side of the ball. Like, everyone just thinks they have the answer because it hasn't happened. Well, they used to play both sides of the ball back in the day. And there was probably less ACL tears and injuries back in those days when you'd have someone playing both sides of the football. I think people have gotten lazy, to be honest with you. I think the NFL, there are people in the NFL that are in not as good a shape as they should be in. Not talking about specific positions. I'm saying there are probably wide receivers that enter week 1. They're not in shape. They get in better shape as the season goes along. Look, I think it's
sports
crazy.
in general have become way too specialized in sport and position. And kids just get burned out. And, I believe wholeheartedly it's better if you play multiple sports if you can, if you want to, and multiple positions on the field. It's good.
Bro, I used to do, in track, I used to do the 400-meter race solo. I'd do the 800-meter race right before the mile run. So, and then I would either do the 2-mile run after that, and they were barely spaced apart, and I would PR. I'd have my personal record on the 2-mile run after I did all of that, and still PR'd and got better. And like, the body's amazing if you let it. And I just, there's these limits everybody wants to put on people because of what has been is wild to me. All right. I'll appreciate Justin. Anything else? Not to tear down your take or anything. I was just pushing back on it.
Lunch break is about to end at work.
Lunch break. Where do you?
Exactly. But I'll be listening.
What do you do again? You don't have to tell us where, but like what type
I work government. I'm in IT. Like, I work on people's computers and stuff, awesome. Like a remote in.
And so you're on your lunch break and you do like a night shift? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad the show can be of assistance to you.
Yeah.
And calling
in. You guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. We appreciate you calling anytime, bro. And then get ready for a lot of content, especially the Dynasty channel. Make sure you're subscribed, bro. All right, later.
Most def, I am. Take care.
All right. Let's go over to John. John, real quick, final thoughts.
Hey, yeah, I just wanted to know why is Zach Ertz going so low, even though he ended up as like the number 8 or number 5 tight end. I know he's not technically guaranteed to stay, but I'm curious why he's
because he's not on a team right now, and he is old. Like, he is really old. He's a free agent, and if he goes somewhere else, he's got to learn a new offense, and maybe they bring him back. I mean, they certainly could. I don't think the market is going to be there for him, so it will be a return or they move on. But I think, it's time to maybe, I think unlock the sophomore monster. But I don't know. I could understand somebody wanting to take him, but he's not guaranteed a job right now. So that's why. That's the reasoning. That is definitely the reasoning. I mean, I personally think Ben Sinnott in his sophomore year will explode, but Zach Ertz could stand in his way. There's no doubt about that. I think if he gets re-signed to Washington, he comes back, then his ADP will climb. Zach Ertz. I guess he's gone. I'm like, why is he so quiet? He hung up. Rock out. Final thoughts.
So where would you even have Harrison with his current situation? I know we talked about it a little bit.
Marv, if we go, let me make his pick, and then we'll look at the board, and we'll try and see like where I would have slotted him, because Speedy took him really early.
Yeah.
On the clock.
Right.
Do I go with Trevor Etienne? Trevor Etienne. Do I go Shipley? Do I go... I'll go Sean Tucker. I think he's got good ADP. He's like almost... He's undrafted. He's just undrafted. So squad is as follows: Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers. I hate my backup quarterbacks, but Gibbs, JT, Kenneth Walker, Bigsby, Corum, Keaton Mitchell, Tucker, JSN, Devontae Smith, Luther Burden, Darnell Mooney, Yoshi Voss, A.D. Mitchell, Warren, Kelsey, Ingram. Yeah, so I went kind of like late bully tight end shopping. It's not bad. Okay, so board MHJ. He went 35 here. What's his ADP? I want to say, if I pull up the underdog ADP data, let's go back to the board. Actually, what did they rank me? 2,800 points. Okay. Not that I care, but wide receiver, MHJ is wide receiver. What is he? He's 35 overall, so right around the 3-4 turn, and he is wide receiver 18. He went in this draft at, okay, so he went right at his ADP. Speedy, I apologize. I said Speedy reached on him. I guess he's climbing. I like him. I want him to be worth that. I just think if it's me, third drafted player is probably too early. But when you have like a bookend pick, it doesn't matter. You know, so Speedy he's almost at the end of the draft. It's basically like his 4th round pick, essentially. So I'm okay with this selection, I suppose. And plus, if you swap them, like I said when I first saw it, JD5 in round 3, Marvin in round 4, all of a sudden I like it. So it's the same result. So he's fine. If he's my 4th drafted player, technically speaking, you know, aside from this, you know, bookend scenario, I'm okay with him being my 4th drafted player. And I'm actually kind of excited about him being my 4th drafted player.
Yeah.
So, 3rd drafted player, I don't think so. It's not that I don't love the talent. I think he could be the 2nd or 3rd or 4th best receiver in the National Football League. But Kyler Murray would continuously say things like, I throw to who my coaches tell me to throw to. Sometimes it's MHJ, sometimes it's not. It leaves me dumbfounded. Like, does he have on his wrist, you know, that flips up the card? Does it say, don't throw to MHJ today? Does it say MHJ only gets 2 routes today? Like, what does that even mean? Nobody talked about that when he said that. They still don't. Nobody has ever said a word that I've ever heard. When Kyler answered the question, sometimes they have me throw to him, sometimes they don't. Nobody, I haven't heard a single soul, not the announcers, nobody say, wait a minute, the quarterback is checking, he's going through a progression. Almost every time he drops back to pass, every quarterback does. Are you telling me that Kyler Murray's told, you're throwing to this guy on this play? You're throwing to... No, he's not. So what in the hell does that even mean? Your coaches don't tell you who to throw to. Sometimes you have a design play. Deebo Samuel's got a lot of design plays. You're going to snap the ball. You're going to throw it to Deebo. But you're telling me the Cardinal offense, every single play call, it's designed for one player?
This is like high school.
What the hell's Kyler talking about? Maybe he doesn't know how to read a defense. Maybe he doesn't know how to do anything. I can't stand Kyler Murray. This is why I was so mad. I bought into it. I'll admit, like part of it from a fandom perspective, and he can score fantasy points when he's got the right coordinator. He can. I mean, regardless of what. Well, he can. Yeah. He also cannot. You got to have the right coordinator. Clearly, they don't have the right stuff in Arizona right now. I'm here in Arizona. I know, but I was hell bent against giving him the money. You can go back and watch live stream after live stream after live stream. I was do not pay him. Do not, and they even said we're not going to pay him, and then they paid him. I would not have given this kid all that money. I just don't. Are there better quarterbacks than Kyler available? No. That's probably the problem, right? Like if you said, okay, Smitty, you could get rid of him right now, could cut bait on the contract, whatever. I wouldn't say yes right away until you told me who I'm replacing him with. And if you're telling me Fields already signed somewhere, Darnold somewhere else, and I can't get Cam Ward or Shador, I can't trade into those picks, like, then I'm not going to pull the plug because, like, I don't know that I'm getting a better quarterback. And that's kind of a crappy way to look at a season from a fan perspective, because you're really saying, okay, I don't want to be this bad, but we can't be great. Like, we can't be great, but I don't want to be this bad. He's good enough. You know, he's definitely good enough. But is he going to lead us to a Super Bowl? No. So at the end of the day, like, you know, what's it for? That sucks. It's a sucky realization that your quarterback, you know, maybe if he had the right system, like you put Kyler in Minnesota, maybe he'd do something there perfect because he could. But Arizona doesn't have that setup. Arizona doesn't have the right coaching staff, play calling, offensive coordinator, coaching, GM. You know, we don't have a good enough organization to surround Kyler in a way that Detroit surrounds Goff or in a way that Minnesota surrounded Kirk Cousins. It's not going to happen. We need our quarterback to do what Josh Allen does, win it himself when the organization's kind of holding you back. Now, the Cardinals did draft MHJ, so they do show signs of wanting to really invest, I guess, but why in the hell would you draft him and then not use him? I do hope MHJ is utilized. I do love MHJ. I'm on record over and over and over saying this could be the best receiver in the National Football League. Right now, I wouldn't say that because I don't know that his ceiling can be there where he is right now, but he still could be top 5. Like, he could be a 5 to 7, 5 to 8 wide receiver in the National Football League if they throw him the ball. He doesn't drop the ball. He's open a lot. They don't throw it to him. I think he could absolutely be a 1,300, 1,400 yard receiver, 12 touchdowns in this league, 100 receptions easily. So I'm hopeful. You got to be careful where you take him. And again, Speedy took him actually in the right spot, and Jaden Daniels makes up for it. I like Speedy's team, by the way. I think Speedy did a good job, even though I rip on him for reaching a lot. BT, Bucky, Marvin, JD5, I like it. Pretty good. John from the 12, Devon Achane, Ashton Genty, Joe Burrow, Rashee Rice, Judy, Jalen McMillan. It's a good team. Joni Smith is, I don't know why he's so undervalued. This is a good team. Neighbors, Henry, Lamar. I don't like the DJ Moore pick. The Kamara pick's okay. Sutton pick's good. That could have went a different way. That started off really, really good. Nico, McConkey, I can't buy into McConkey at that value. I like him, but I just can't make him a middle or early second round pick. Josh Allen's great value. Mixon, I don't know. I'm not sure what to think on that one yet. George Pickens, not a big fan of Pickens right now. Monty, that's pretty good value of Monty. This team number 8, St. Brown, Drake London, Chase Brown, Hurts, Olave, Laporta. There's some good stuff there, but I don't know if it's going to win it. CeeDee Lamb, McCaffrey, Garrett Wilson, Worthy, Waddle, Caleb. It's all going to depend on Christian McCaffrey. If McCaffrey is a top 5 running back all year, then this team can definitely be in the mix. Justin Jefferson, Brock Bowers, James Cook, Mike Evans, Jordan Addison. Good team. Is it the best? Probably not. Puka, A.J. Brown, Kyron, Kittle, Flowers, Henderson, Jennings. Pretty good. This is my team. I'll be honest with myself. Gibbs, JT, JSN, Devontae Smith, Kenneth Walker, Patrick Mahomes, Luther Burden. I think it's a top 4 or 5 team in this draft. I don't think it's the one. I don't know that it's not the one because they're all really close, but I know it's not outside the top 5. I just reading off this team, I really like what I did. And the fact that I didn't even address my tight end position until round 9, and I got Tyler Warren, Kelsey, and Evan Ingram. So it's this team right here, without even looking at the tight end position, which I covered in a great way, in my opinion, this team's still in the top 5 without even considering the tight end. Bijan, Jacobs, Breece Hall, Boley, running back there. Jamo, DK, Hawkinson, Shakir. Who's the quarterback? Herbert. This team might have done enough at the wide receiver position to survive this. I think it's a pretty cool team. This team too, traditional wide receiver heavy. A lot of best ball players play that way, and it can work and it cannot work. Chase, Higgins, McLaurin, Ted McMillan, Hubbard, Judkins, Reed, Goff. I like some of it, but I think at the end of the day, I would have liked this with Burrow more than. But where did Burrow go? He went 36. So you would have had to take him in that McLaurin spot. Honestly, Terry McLaurin, I love. We loved him last year. I still like him a lot this year, but I'd rather a Burrow and another wide receiver later than Terry McLaurin at that third drafted player territory. But that's just me, especially with this Jamar Chase T. Higgins situation. But keep in mind, the winner of Best Ball Mania last year had Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Chase Brown, and Joe Burrow. But keep in mind that when you talk about where those values were, it's different. You know, so the reason that works so well is here's round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So you had Jamar Chase in round 1. You had T. Higgins probably, I don't know, what was his ADP last year, guys? Like round 4? I don't.
4 to 5.
Let's just say it was 4. Let's just put him around 4. Chase Brown was like, I don't know, around 7. I don't know what he was, 6, 7, something like that. And then you have, and then Joe Burrow was like round 6. So the Best Ball Mania winner still had his second round, his third round, and his fifth round, give or take. We're spitballing this. Whereas this year, okay, so whether it's 4 or 5, you're still you're batting with massive heavy hitters at your round 2, your round 3, your round 5 picks if you did this from last year. When you try and replicate that strategy, it's hard to find that scenario again because it's not the same scenario. You're taking Jamar Chase in 1, you're taking T. Higgins in 2, you're taking Joe Burrow in 3, and now all you have left to go with that is your 4th, 5th, and 6th round pick. And you take Chase Brown, you can't even do that because Chase Brown's going to round 3. Even if you traded, let's say, your 4th and your 6th round picks in a non-best ball, and you took Chase Brown, now you've got nothing but those guys, and that won't survive. That won't win you. I can guarantee you that it's a lot harder to draft that team again and win because I've done that before where I've drafted an entire roster. You take so many lumps when the things don't go right for the Bengals that you're not gonna have the team that you think you have. So you gotta be careful with trying to replicate that. So that team's a little harder to. But anyway, Saquon, McBride, Tyreek, Adunze, it's okay. Yeah, I think my team could survive this. Can break out of this league. I think I can be in the top 2, but it's really close between like 4 or 5 of us. But good draft, everybody. All right, boys, anything else before I go eat my pizza pie? JSN to the moon. Anything JSN related? Rock out?
No, you good. Appreciate it.
Give me a prediction. Stat line, JSN, rock out. Hurry.
10 touchdowns over 1,100 yards.
To Jupiter.
All right, we'll see you later, rock out. Travis, I think you already gave your stat line, but drop your stat line again.
Yeah, I think it was 115 catches, like 1,400 yards, 10, 11 touchdowns.
To Jupiter.
Love it. All right, we'll see you later, Travis.
Yep.
Later.
Later.
For those that don't know, my boys over at Core Board. Phenomenal product. I reached out to them. I tracked them down. I slipped into their DMs and I said, how? I'm doing a workout. I want to get fit. I'm doing it on Valentine's Day. I thought it'd be a fun little way to promote, getting in shape. Get in shape for your significant other. They deserve it. They don't deserve to look at the sloppy person that I am right in front of you right now. Let me give you the gift of looking better, honey. And so I thought it'd be a fun way to not only put the clamps on me to get it done and to stick to it, but I looked at this board. I swear to you, they did not approach me. I approached them and I said, this is what I want to get fit on, because not only are there these cool flagship moves that they have, like this is called the dragon flag, that you got to be really fit to do. They have you put your feet under this bar that he's holding onto, and you squat down, and then you do a sit-up, and then you pull yourself up, and it's like near impossible to do. I tried it. I could barely even get there. And then there's you put your feet where that guy's holding the bars, and you lean down and do a Nordic curl, where you lean down with your feet, with your hamstrings, and you put yourself all the way down and come back up. It's near impossible. So there's like these 3 core exercises that I want to be able to do. And then all these cables, the bar, you can, curls, triceps, overhead press, and sit-ups and everything. It's about your core board. get your core strong. If your core's strong, the rest of you is going to be in tremendous shape. So I have 60 days to get ripped, and I'm using the core board to do it. You don't have to use the core board. I would encourage you to go over to stoicinnovations.com and get your board as well and do it alongside of me. But starting on Valentine's Day, so you have 2 days to prepare, get your mentals right, we're going to get in shape together. You can join me, you can watch, you can join late. If you're watching these videos like 5 shows in and you haven't paid attention, you can join later, whatever. But let's get in shape together. I'm going to get absolutely ripped. My before isn't horrible, I don't think. Maybe I'll laugh at myself later. My before isn't horrible. I'm not in like the worst shape at all. I have a little bit of bubble wrap around the abs. The muscles, the muscles there, but it's not defined by any means. I'm gonna get ripped. I'm flexing. You can't even see the tricep. It's there. I've got muscle there. You can see my muscle. I'm flexing. I'm trying to be truthful here. Before and after, truthful. There's mass there, but there's no definition. And I'm not in the best shape cardio-wise. My abs aren't there. So I'm going to use the core board to do it. And I was so excited to get them to be a part of this, show on some level and get them integrated as a product that I can give away. I'm so sorry. Belichick yourself dropped a $2 hauler earlier. T. Higgins, Montgomery, Godwin from Malik. Belichick yourself, you still here? Let me answer that question. Let me get off the screen. Core board. StoicInnovations.com. That's where you can pick it up. Let me drop that link in the live chat right here. And you guys can go pick up yours. StoicInnovations.com. There's the link. It's not cheap, but it's an unbelievable system. It's all you need, and it's worth it. I mean, it's such a good product. So I have it. I'll show it to you. I got all the bands hung up here on the door. This is the board. Core board. It's heavy. It's about, I would say like 25, 30 pounds, maybe 40 pounds. It's got the bar, metal bar here. This is a gripped, almost like a skateboard type material. Padding here. Clips all over the place, all the way down for your different hooks and your bands. Band work like crazy. You can slide it under a bed. You can take it out to the beach. You can easily carry it around. It's heavy, but I could easily walk to the beach from a car, with all the bands or whatever. And then it looks badass too. I mean, you could literally hang this in the garage on the wall, and it wouldn't take up much room. And as you can see, I've hung my bands up on the door here. I've got all different kinds of bands. There are the weights on the where's my camera? The weights on the material here. So these are the 10-pound. I got them all in order of size or weight. So check it out, core board. I think you guys will enjoy looking at it. Decide for yourself how you want to get in shape, but let's do it together. Okay, I'm sorry for the delay. Belichick yourself, thank you for the $2 hauler, you monster, you. T. Higgins, Monty, Godwin for Malik Neighbors and Dynasty. I would take Malik Neighbors and run. Monty's an older player. T. Higgins is nice, but Godwin's 28 years old. I think, is there a world where all of this outscores, your lineup get outscored because you're losing all these pieces? Maybe, but Neighbors, I think, is the wide receiver 1 or 2, bro. I smashed the hell out of that trade so quickly, bro. So quickly. I'll see you all later. Appreciate you. Let's go eat pizza. Let's go eat a big pizza pie now. After that, look, it starts on February 14th. I am doing stuff tonight though. I'm gonna do a couple sets and try it out. It's unbelievable. And then I think I'm gonna start doing there's a $20 hauler. Do I have a promo code? Not yet, but tell them I sent you. Contact them. Say I saw you on the Fantasy Football Show. You guys doing any discounts or promo codes? I should get a promo code at some point, but you could email them. I'm sure they could throw you something, bro. I'm pretty sure they will. Just tell me where you heard about us. I'll see you all later. Belichick yourself. Do that trade. Do it live. Do it now. Go get your Jupiter man. Look at him.
The Jupiter men.
Belichick
Jupiter
yourself.
is so large.
Look at him.
Every planet in the solar system could fit inside it.
Maybe
there
my
are no
favorite-
bigger monsters than the Jupiter men.
Maybe my favorite Jupiter man. And you're gonna love the video drop for him. I think we're gonna do Creed. You know, and neighbors wide open under the sunlight. Welcome to this place. Neighbors will get you championship rings with arms wide open. Yeah, $20 haulers. I'll do sets. I'll do a set. Whenever there's a $20 hauler, I'll do the curls. I'll do the press. I'll do whatever. You trying to drop one on the way out, so I'll do a set. Is that what you're trying to do? Is that what you're trying to do, Tebow? Under the sunlight. Yeah, Malik neighbors. Dropping loads. Welcome to this place. It'll bring you championship rings.